Hey everybody, welcome to Trading Recap, May 4th, 2021. May the 4th be with you. I'm trying out this new software called Trader Sync. It tracks all my trades. I do have to import them manually after every trading session, or just maybe if you want to do it weekly, you can. But I do them every day at the end of my trading session so I can include them in the videos, of course. So May is looking good so far, roughly up maybe $1,600 for the second day of May. Not too bad. Taking about 5 trades in total. April I took 118 trades, so I'm hoping to keep May down just a little bit. I like how it keeps track of this in a calendar view, or you can, view it in like a list or grid. But let's zoom into today's trade. I do have 3 trades I took: Tesla put, and AMD put. It says long, but it doesn't record it as a put. So if you actually view into this detail, you'll see that it'll say put instead. The reason why it says long, I'm assuming, is because I hit the buy button rather than the sell button. Let's zoom into the first trade here. Yeah, you can see that it's puts. See, I don't know what the size is. I'm still kind of like, diving into this and seeing how it works. But you can see I have trendline breakdown and bear flag. You'll see most likely my setups are going to be these two: trendline breakdowns and bear flags. Reason bear flag was because if I zoom in a little bit, you can clearly see this as a bear flag, or just a trendline breakdown if you just focus on the flag part, I guess. So that's really all it is, and what I really kind of just look for, and that is my go-to strategy. That's how I profit the best, and I only buy puts for the most part. I rarely ever take long positions or buy calls because I'm not a very good um, buyer into the long side. So I focus on shorts and puts. So I really like this software so far. If you guys want to check it out, it's called tradersync.com. I'm liking its user interface, very modern, and you can change it to dark theme or light theme. I prefer the dark theme, so go ahead and check that one out. So far, so good. So let's go into Thinkorswim. All right, first trade. Let's go over Tesla. 7:13 a.m. Pacific time is when I actually took the trade. So this one, it was so fast to enter. I didn't even have time to alert it, to be honest, because I was already watching this pattern. And this was a very small flag pattern, not too small, but a very small flag pattern that I really liked. And before I could even, type out the contract expiration, the strike price, and when I'm entering, it's really hard. So I got in really late, maybe down here, and then got a fill, and then I saw that I wasn't really liking the price action because it didn't move down on the second candle as much as I wanted to. So I quickly got out at this candle. So it was pretty much like a 30-second play, and that turned out to be where did it go? $296. So second trade on Tesla was this one, and I entered in at the break of that candle right there. I'm always practicing on waiting for confirmations because I really don't want to be squeezed out. So say for example, hey, I see this trend line, and hey, this candle's breaking through, let me enter in right now. Next thing you know, it gets pushed up and I'm already 1 minute stressed, and I don't want to hold through a pullback unless it's a reasonable pullback. So I'll wait for this to break through the trend line and maybe look for a confirmation to enter at the break of the candle that broke through the trend line. So that's what I have here, and then I entered at 7:48 a.m. and then exited really quick. I believe at this candle or that candle, but the thing about the trading journal, I can check. Let's take a look. This one. Why isn't it going through? Am I doing something wrong? There we go. All right, there we go. Yep. So I did buy an average down more because I did like the price action. So that is at the candle that I entered in. Yeah. Yep, that's it. So sorry. AMD is the last trade. So AMD I really liked, but did not like the price action at all. You know, it's kind of bad. My strategy, well, not my strategy, but I guess my entries. My problem or mistake is that I don't really have an exit plan. Profit's profit. I'll take a quick scalp to the first support level. So if I like a what do you call it, a setup, I'll just enter in because I noticed that if I try to draw a clear direction on where the stock would be going before I enter the trade, it makes me overthink and I hesitate on trades. And so I just try to keep it very minimal. So I drew all these support levels after I entered the trade. So maybe you know people don't like that, but it's worked for me so far. It keeps my emotions in check. So when I look for trades, I only look at direction. So first, I normally look for a trend line or an established trend line. Like say for example, this was my trade. I'll look for this trend line. Chart's pretty clean so far. I see a bounce. First bounce, second bounce, and third bounce. And I'm seeing, okay, this third bounce is bouncing, but now the 20 moving averages and the 50 moving average, 100 moving average is now resistance. So I'm seeing that this can come down. So now let's take a look at our entry. So I'm watching AMD now and seeing, hey, maybe AMD can come down here. So right here is when I enter for a confirmation, comes down, pops back up a little bit, almost decided to break even because I wanted to end the day green. Comes down, and you know what? I decided to exit right here because right when I entered the trade, I'll zoom out into a higher time frame, look for support levels, and this was one right here. This was one, and so I decided to pop out right there. So here is where I decided to exit on this candle down because I figured, you know, AMD still has some type of selling pressure. Even though it's trading below the 20 moving averages, I'm just going to take this for a quick scalp because I wanted AMD to come down here, but it did not look like it wanted to come down after seeing this momentum pop up. Not liking all these two candles. Technically they're green, but my indicators paint them as red. So that was the AMD trade. You can see that these are the trendline breakdown that I trade. So let's clear Tesla real quick, and you guys can see my strategy and kind of how I trade it. So I normally look for trend lines or flags, whatever you want to call them. This could be a flag, so you can see this is a pull right here, and then it flags, and then comes down after it breaks the flag. But I kind of don't look for the pole. I look for a trend line, and I want it to be at an angle. I don't like straight like that. So that's why I didn't take any of these trades because I notice every time I take these types of trades, I'm not the very best at them and I'll get stopped out. So I just eliminated those from my strategies and mainly only trade flags or just angled flags. So this one is a flag or trend line, what I call them, and I wait for a confirmation. This one did drop below this candle's low. So I'm seeing, okay, there's a lot of selling pressure going on and broke through the candle's low. I'm gonna look to enter real quick and then scale out for quick profits. And that is what I did on this one, which I did not get to alert. I did alert that I was watching this on the break, but right when it broke, it really broke down. And then I just scalped out for quick profits. Right when I saw that this candle was closing pretty, what do you call it? Pretty small. Look at this small body compared to this body. So that's why I scaled out on that one. Another example is this candle right there. That's another trend line or a flag, whatever you want to call it. That's a trend line for me. I'll look for 3 bounces max, or minimum, sorry. 3 bounces, and then on third bounce, I'll see if it tests that support level. And if it breaks through, I'll look for an entry position. For example, like at the break of this candle's low, I'll look for entry for put positions and then ride it down. That's what's been working for me so far. You guys can give it a shot. That is how I play options, or you can also use it in the stock. Another trade I was really looking at I just want to go over this trade real quick. This was one of the first trade that I alerted for an entry, but I did not play this. I just only alerted it for an entry. This one kind of followed my strategy, but to the long side, I mainly only play longs on just regular stocks and not options. You can see that it was testing these moving averages and kind of making higher lows. Liking that, and you can see that this is a clear, trend line up, and I would wait for an entry of a resistance breakthrough. You can see that this candle closed right below it, and then right when it breaks above 737, it has a quick pop up, and I told everyone set above 735, or sorry, 535 would be a good entry point. And if you got out at the support or at this resistance level, that would have been quick profits from 535 to 577, and then it did pop up all the way to $6 or so. So that would have been a good play if you guys took that alert as well too. All right, so here's a quick trade on Tesla that I didn't get to alert. Watch it come down really quick. Enter at the wick low of that candle right here. Seeing that it has a lot of momentum to the downside, I figured it would come down below that candle. Here we go. Right when I touched that candle, I entered in. Got a really bad fill, 2 entries to start, or 2 contracts to start with. And I'll look to scale out really quick. And I don't even know where my exit is. I didn't even have time to react to this and try to look for support level to exit at. So I'm going to look to scale out. And then sell lower at $19 even. There we go. Good profit. Could have held that a little bit longer, but profit's profit. And that was a really quick move. Okay, Tesla is about to come down. I'm about to enter in at the break of this support level that I have, which is the previous candle's low. Waiting for the sellers on the time and sales to come through. Here we go. And I'll look to enter here. Needs to come down more. I don't really have an exit plan, but looking to get at least 2 red candles in. And really like push down lower. And I actually sold at this level because I was looking at the option chart, and you can see that there's a clear resistance on there. Well, I can't really pull it up here, but it's coming down. I'm gonna look to scale out because it's not really moving fast on the second candle. Not liking the price action, so I'll look to get out. Just hoping for a quick push down. Here we go. Yeah, it's moving really slow, so I'm just gonna look to get out soon. Wait a few. $18.80 is when I'll get out. Looking for a push down. There we go. And I'm out. Quick profits on Tesla. And here comes AMD puts. I believe I started with 3 contracts, I guess. I thought I had started with 5. Oh, there. 5 contracts. And looking for a break below the previous candle's low. Here we go. Looking at the time and sales. There we go. I like that red. All those red coming in. Let's see more action though. Staying below that support level, so I'm liking that, so I'll enter in. And I'm in. And here's where I decided to hold for a little bit. So let's skip forward. I identified these two support levels that I have and waiting for a push down below to the second support that I have. And then mentally, there is the previous low of the day at 77. It eventually does have a pop up, so I'm not really liking that. So I'm gonna look to scale out once it hits the support level again. And here's where I decided to break even, or almost decided to break even. Wanted to use the 20 moving average as a form of resistance. Really liking the wick that's forming, so I'll wait a little bit more. And I'll put in the sell order at $1.50 at from my $1.37 entry with 5 put contracts. All right, push down, and $1.50 was actually the resistance on my my options chart on the contract that I'm looking at. So that was a good exit strategy for me, in my opinion. I always have the option chart up rather than always looking at the stock chart itself. Okay, so that wraps up today's trading recap. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and the live. If you guys want to leave feedbacks, please go ahead and leave a comment and hit the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see everyone tomorrow.